Hello, welcome back to Philataku channel. Based on the poll results I conducted in the community tab, which was dominated by Satoru Gojo. In my opinion, this is a very good choice because Gojo is a character with a lot to discuss, and there will be a bonus chapter at the end to answer my subscribers' questions. In the bonus chapter, I will explain in detail how blue, red, and hollow purple work. Before diving into the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy content like this. Okay, let's break down the character, guys. Who would have thought? The popularity of this character far surpasses the main character. Yes, who else but Gojo Satoru? Everyone is amazed by his power, intelligence, and arrogance, with the pretext of being a supporting character, but in reality, he becomes a key character in the entire story of Jujutsu Kaisen. Almost everyone is familiar with his style, his hand techniques, his power style, and his walking style. I dare say that Gojo Satoru is a perfect character. Let's just look at his overpowering strength, his captivating charisma, and his role in the storyline of Jujutsu Kaisen, which is the most important. But all of that is just his bright side, the side that is clearly visible and shown by the author Gege Akutami. And here I will discuss the dark side of Gojo Satoru behind his popularity. The side that few people know and is very, very interesting for us to explore. Gojo Satoru's selfishness can be directly seen in the early episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen, where he views Itadori Yuji as an experimental opportunity to test the limits in the world of Jujutsu. He doesn't want to kill Yuji immediately, but wants to see how long Yuji can withstand the power of Sukuna within his soul. It can also be observed from Gojo's indifference to rules and existing norms. He only prioritizes his own desires and the interests of his fellow Jujutsu sorcerers. Gojo acts solely based on his personal standards. Rarely does he approve of other people's opinions. In Gojo's eyes, others are nothing more than ordinary humans. Not to forget his attitude of underestimating every opponent and firmly believing that he is unbeatable, which can be interpreted as a character with a fairly high level of narcissism, although indeed this aligns with the power he possesses. Gojo Satoru holds a strong idealistic view. He believes that without the presence of Gojo Satoru, the world would not be okay. He sees himself as the guardian between the human world and the world of Jujutsu. His arrogant attitude sometimes generates two perspectives. Many characters respect and admire Gojo, but there are also characters who feel the opposite, disliking Gojo entirely. One such character is Yoshinobu Gakuganji, the head of the Jujutsu school in Kyoto. He often disagrees with decisions made by Gojo. Then there's Utahime Yori, one of the Jujutsu school inspectors in Tokyo. She dislikes Gojo's arrogant nature in handling situations. Although his arrogance is an attractive trait of Gojo Satoru, it is not considered good from the standpoint of his role as a teacher. If you remember this scene, this phrase is taken from the philosophy and literature of ancient Chinese Buddhism, specifically the Lotus Sutra. It is said that after Buddha Shakyamuni was born, he took 7 steps from his mother and pointed to the sky and earth. By uttering this phrase, "Throughout heaven and earth, I alone am honored one." The statement represents how Gojo demonstrates his arrogance. He refers to himself as the strongest of the strong human. We all know that the power of the Six Eyes and Limitless is incredibly extraordinary, obtained as a privilege from Gojo's lineage. Due to this power and privilege, Gojo appears to be heavily relied upon by other Jujutsu sorcerers. Even his enemies are extremely cautious of him, because Gojo Satoru's strength is currently the strongest in the manga series, with no one at his level except Sukuna. This excessive strength is a strong reason for his pronounced egoism and arrogance. The question posed by Gojo's longtime friend, Geto Suguru, is thought-provoking.
君は五条悟だから最強なのか、最強だから五条。
The sentence may sound similar, but it carries a different meaning. Geto implies, are you powerful because of your own strength, or are you powerful because you are a Gojo family descendant? However, looking from another perspective, is his strength used to protect others? If so, how long will he maintain that position? Referring to the famous quote by Lord Acton, power tends to corrupt. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. It means that the immense power Gojo possesses has the potential to become destructive, and absolute power, in Gojo's case, is likely to corrupt everything. Considering his selfish and arrogant nature, it is not impossible that someday he might use his power for his own interests, inevitably harming everyone around him. This is because he sometimes displays a lack of concern for others. Okay, this chapter will be a bit complicated because the concept of Satoru Gojo's power is indeed very complex. Before diving into the explanations of blue, red, and hollow purple, you must understand the concept of Gojo Satoru's infinity power. To make it easier to understand, I will use visual images and numbers. Let's consider Gojo as 0. On his right, there are numbers 1 to 10, and on his left, there are numbers -1 to -10. In the infinity, Gojo divides the space infinitely from number 1 towards 0. For example, when Jogo wants to reach Gojo and he is at number 4, he can move normally from number 4 towards 1. But after reaching 1, he encounters Gojo's infinity, where there is space divided infinitely from number 1 towards 0. This forces Jogo to pass through numbers like 1/2, 1/4, 1/8, 1/16, and so on, to be able to touch Gojo, and indirectly, it slows down Jogo's movements, preventing him from ever reaching Gojo. If we look here, numbers 110 are positive numbers, red, or the space that Gojo can manipulate. On the other side, there are negative numbers -1 to -10, blue, referred to as cursed energy in the Jujutsu world. So, the way blue works is by pulling objects or people in the space, red, into Gojo's cursed energy, blue. It can be likened to a magnet, and this technique has a derivative technique called azure glow, where Gojo spontaneously transforms negative numbers into positive numbers, resulting in extremely strong gravity. It can be seen that Gojo only destroys spaces 3 and 4, while spaces 1 and 2 remain safe. Because in Jujutsu, cursed energy is equivalent to negative energy, in this red technique, Gojo applies the basic mathematical principle that negative multiplied by negative becomes positive, and thus, the technique becomes reversal red, which can be considered the opposite of the blue technique. If the blue technique is pulling, then this red technique is pushing. So anything in front of Gojo that is affected by this technique will be thrown far away. If earlier it was explained that the blue technique is pulling and the red technique is pushing, in this hollow purple technique, Gojo combines both. But the term combination is not quite suitable because negative and positive are opposites. So, more accurately, it's colliding. Here, Gojo collides the pulling nature of blue with the pushing nature of red, resulting in a super strong energy explosion called hollow purple. The power of hollow purple erases all physical objects like trees and soil or metaphysical entities like cursed spirits and cursed energy. And there you have it, some points from the dark side of Gojo Satoru. I'm actually a big fan of this character myself. However, it doesn't hurt to look at and assess from a different perspective. In my opinion, approaching something from just one side is unfair and creates an imbalance in judgment. Moreover, it's essential to train ourselves to think critically and analytically. This way, we can face life's challenges with a clear and logical mindset. That's all the discussion I can present. But before this video ends, I'd also like to know your thoughts on Gojo. Share them in the comments, and if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. Keep thinking critically and dynamically. See you on next video. Thanks.